Welcome back to episode 2 of the ultimate golf ball test, where we plan to find out which is the best premium golf ball on the planet. This is episode 2 of a 6-video mini-series where I put 18 golf balls from the best 7 manufacturers in the world through a grueling test. Last week, the giants from Titleist and Srixon went head-to-head, and the leaderboard right now has a clear frontrunner. But the journey has only just begun. Today, Callaway enters the fray. In today's video, I am testing the brand new 2025 Callaway Chrome golf balls. We've got the Chrome Tour, we've got the Chrome Tour X, we've got the Chrome Tour Triple Diamond, and finally, we've got the Chrome Soft. These golf balls have had a full redesign for 2025, and Callaway say they're faster, longer, and more consistent than ever. Well, we're gonna be the judge of that. Can any of these 4 golf balls knock the Titleist Left Dash Pro V1X off the top spot? Let's get into it. Callaway's 2025 Chrome golf ball family comes in 4 different models. First up, we've got the Callaway Chrome Soft. This golf ball has the softest feel, the highest launch, and the most spin around the greens. The Chrome Tour features a brand new hyper-fast core for more ball speeds and better stability. On top of that, it has a new dimple pattern which should help it perform better in the wind. The Chrome Tour X is very similar, except it's designed to feel a little bit harder, fly a little bit higher, and with a little bit less spin. And finally, we've got the Chrome Tour Triple Diamond. This is the monster of the family. Just like with every other Callaway Triple Diamond product, this product is designed for distance. A firmer feeling golf ball with lower spin with a driver, but maintaining great spin around the greens. Which actually sounds a lot like our current leader, the Titleist Left Dash Pro V1X. It's gonna be a good battle. As with every video in this mini-series, every single one of these 18 golf balls is going to go through the exact same testing process. I'm gonna hit every single one of these golf balls with 4 different golf clubs. The lob wedge, the pitching wedge, the 7-iron, and the driver. That way we can see what the performance is like throughout the whole bag. I'm gonna hit each golf ball with each club 20 times. I'm gathering a lot of data for this test. To make sure this test is fair, I'm going to be making sure that my club head speed remains the same throughout the whole test. And finally, to make sure that the data from this test is reliable, I'm only going to take the best 15 strikes from each data set. That way we can ignore all of my bad shots and focus on the good ones. That means for this week's test, I'm going to be hitting 320 shots, taking the total for this series so far up to 800 shots out of 1,440. Like I said, this is a huge golf ball test, and by the end of it, we should know which is the best premium golf ball in the world. I've got a lot of golf balls to hit, and I'm not going to put you through watching every single one of these shots. I'll be back in a second with all of the results. Like I said earlier, this is the second video in a 6-video mini-series. By the end of this series, this test process should find out which is the best premium golf ball in the world. Episode 1 was all about putting the Titleist Pro V1s up against the Srixon Z-Stars. And today, all 4 of the Callaway Chrome golf balls are going through the exact same testing process. If you missed last week's video, make sure you go back and watch that first episode after you finish this video. It was a very surprising test. But after today, there'll be 8 more golf balls to put through this exact same testing process. If you don't want to miss out on seeing those golf balls in action, make sure you hit that subscribe button. These videos are all coming out every Friday at 6:30 British Summer Time, but you won't miss them if you hit that subscribe button. But for now, let's dive into the Callaway Chrome golf ball results. For the lob wedge, the average club head speed was 50 miles an hour, which is basically a pitch shot for me. This is an area of the game where you need a lot of stopping power and a lot of control. Spin and flight is going to be huge for these results. I won't drip feed this data to you. On screen now are all of the results. As you can see, I focused on 5 key data points to analyze these golf balls. We looked at carry dispersion, ball speed, spin, and height. And as you can see, there are a few notable things to discuss. As expected, the Chrome Soft is flying the highest with marginally the most spin. To be fair, we're not actually hitting the golf ball that hard yet. I'm not expecting these results to be wildly different from each other, but if there is an outlier, then we'll find it. The Chrome Soft is actually flying the furthest as well, which I wasn't expecting. Based on what Callaway is saying, we'd expect the Triple Diamond to actually fly the furthest. But so far, my initial thoughts are that these Callaway golf balls are actually spinning a little bit less than last week's golf balls. Where they seem to be better though is in their carry dispersion. But we've got a long way to go in this test. Let's have a look at the pitch and wedge results. For the pitch and wedge, the average club head speed was 77 miles an hour, which is basically a full swing for me. Now that we're hitting the golf balls a little bit harder, will we see a bigger separation in the data? Well, yes and no. As we can see, the spin for all of these golf balls is really similar. I was expecting all 4 of these golf balls to have a slightly different spin profile, but so far, the biggest difference between these 4 golf balls is how they feel, which to be fair, might have been Callaway's main goal. With that said though, the differences in flight is pretty obvious as well. We've got the triple diamond and the chrome soft flying the highest as they were designed to do, and the chrome tour flying the lowest, which it was also designed to do. Something I'm really impressed with so far with these Callaway golf balls is their carry consistency. All 4 of these golf balls are really consistent, and that's something that Callaway had to work on. A few years ago, they had a really bad batch of inconsistent cores, which put a bit of a dampener on the brand. But it's 2025 now, and these golf balls are incredibly well built. But anyway, we're halfway through the results. Let's move on to the 7-iron. For the 7-iron, the average club head speed was 87 miles an hour, which again is a full swing for me. I've got some interesting results to go through here. On screen now is all the data. So again, the most interesting results here are actually how similar the spin numbers are, and again, how low they are compared to what I'm expecting. Usually, my 7-iron is spinning closer to 6,000 RPM, and you can argue that these results are within that standard deviation, but I've hit enough golf balls in this test to know that these are the lowest spinning golf balls I've tested so far. For example, the Pro V1X was spinning at over 6,100 RPM. So these Callaway golf balls are spinning a little bit less. On top of the slightly lower spin, we've got an increased ball speed. These balls are faster than any golf ball I've tested so far. And the result of lower spin and increased ball speed means we've got longer carry numbers. A quick shout out to the carry dispersion numbers again. All 4 golf balls are good, but the Tour X, that's a tighter dispersion than we saw with the lob wedge at 50 yards. That's an incredible result. The biggest difference between these 4 Callaway golf balls, again, isn't in their performance, it's in their flight. The feel and the flight match exactly what they are designed to do. And I can't decide if the spin being the same with all 4 of these golf balls is a good thing or a bad thing. I want to hear from you guys about this actually. Would you prefer a golf ball to be designed for feel but maintain performance? Or would you prefer to see a bigger difference in performance because you don't really care about how the golf ball feels? Get in the comments, let me know. While you comment, I'll move on to our last set of results, the driver. For the driver, the average club head speed was 103 miles an hour. This isn't quite full tilt. I needed a speed that was easily repeatable. But anyway, here are the final set of results for today's video. The carry numbers with the 7-iron were the longest that I've seen in this test series so far. But when it comes to the driver carry numbers, they're pretty much exactly what I was expecting to see. The triple diamond, to be fair, is living up to its name. We've got a high ball flight, lower spin, and longest carry. Not the longest from the 10 golf balls I've tested so far, but definitely the longest from the Callaway golf ball range. For me, it feels like these golf balls have a very similar spin profile. We are seeing differences in flight, and I can definitely feel the difference between all 4 of these golf balls. But is the performance different enough to warrant 4 different golf balls in a lineup? Titleist only have 3 Pro V1s, and they all perform differently. So this has been a bit eye-opening from this Callaway golf ball test. Personally, I think it's a good thing. Callaway will definitely have a golf ball that will feel right for you. And on top of that, you can expect that golf ball to perform well around the greens. But how do these golf balls stack up against the Titleist Pro V1s and the Strixon Z-Stars? Let's have a look to see how these golf balls have affected our overall leaderboard. If you missed last week's video, the overall leaderboard is determined via a point system, and I'm awarding points for 3 different categories: distance, control, and consistency. And points are awarded loosely based on the F1 point system. Theoretically, the golf ball that tops this leaderboard is a perfect combination of length off the tee, spin with wedges and irons, and a consistent build quality you can rely on. And if it can do all that, then I think that makes for a pretty perfect golf ball. Every point that these golf balls earn from those 3 categories goes towards their overall total, and every time a new golf ball is added to the standings, the leaderboard gets a good old shake up. So even though we've tested a few golf balls already, you might see these golf balls jump around the standings a little bit. But anyway, here's our new leaderboard. In 10th place, we have the Titleist Pro V1. I'm a little shocked that this golf ball is last in the standings at the moment. I do think it's a little bit overhyped, but the fact that it's last is an absolute shocker. In 9th place, we have the Srixon Z-Star. This is Srixon's flagship golf ball and it's supposed to be a really good all-rounder, but right now it's sitting in second last. In 8th place, we have the Titleist Pro V1 X. A very low ranking for two of the most popular Titleist golf balls on tour. We do know that Titleist offer different golf balls to pros than they do the general public. Are we being sold a lower quality golf ball? Food for thought. But anyway, in 7th place, it's the Callaway Chrome Tour. Nothing really wrong with this golf ball, it just didn't excel in any of the categories. Bang average so far from these premium golf balls. In 6th place, we have the Srixon Z-Star Diamond. This is a really great golf ball, to be fair, and most of the Srixon guys on tour prefer to use this golf ball. JJ Spawn won the US Open with this very golf ball. But anyway, let's have a look at what the top 5 looks like. Breaking into the top 5, we have the Callaway Chrome Tour X. Not the longest golf ball, not the spinniest golf ball, but where this golf ball excelled is with its carry dispersion. And if you can rely on your golf ball to carry the number that you expect it to, you can really lower your scores. A really good golf ball so far. In 4th place, we have the classic Callaway Chrome Soft. This golf ball has been around for a long time. Pros have relied on this golf ball for years. And it's no wonder with annual updates, this golf ball keeps getting better and better. Let's move on to the top 3. We're finally into the top 3, and in 3rd place, we have the Srixon Z-Star XV. Arguably the best value golf ball I've tested so far. This golf ball is £42 per dozen, and clearly a great golf ball with any club. This golf ball is an absolute bargain. So we're down to 2 golf balls. Last week's leader, the Titleist Left Dash Pro V1 X, and the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond. Has the Titleist been knocked off its top spot? Yes, it has. In 1st place, we have the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond. If you combine all 4 golf clubs, the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond is the longest golf ball I've tested so far. It performed really well with wedges when it comes to spin, so you have a lot of control with this golf ball. And on top of that, the build quality is as good as any of the 2025 Callaway golf balls. And the build quality of these golf balls is unmatched this year. Honestly, I've got a competition coming up and I'm going to put these golf balls in the bag. Why wouldn't I? It's the best golf ball I've tested so far. But there are 8 more golf balls to add to this leaderboard. Next week, we have a real underdog story to tell. Mizuno versus Wilson. Can these huge golf club brands compete with the big boys when it comes to golf balls? Tune in next week to find out, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on next week's video. Thanks for watching this whole video, and I will see you next week for another.